What do polar bears mean in dreams? It is normal for a person to see dreams while they are sleeping. People can see all forms of dreams. These can range from normal ones to those that are downright scary or strange. However, dreams can often be meaningful. Many psychologists say that dreams can often represent one's mental state. Many paranormal investigators also say that dreams are messages the universe wants to give you. These messages can be about your life or even upcoming events that you will face. One of these dreams can involve seeing a polar bear. What do polar bears signify? Before knowing about a dream involving a polar bear, you should know what these creatures signify. First of all, a polar bear signifies survival. These creatures signify the mental and physical strength to adapt and survive in any environment. Therefore, these creatures signify the strength of character. These beasts also signify water and ice. This could be a sign of the weather that a person may like. Polar bears also signify an independent and rebellious mindset. These can signify a person's character that does not compromise with evil. Are you someone who does not compromise with evil anywhere? If yes, it could mean that the dream involving a polar bear represents your character. It can mean that you are someone who does not tolerate any negative behavior around you. It also means that you are a rebellious individual. It can also mean that the universe is trying to tell you not to compromise with any evil behavior that people around you display. This could range from fellow students, co-workers, superiors, or even close ones who do not want your welfare. Dreaming of a polar bear could mean you should not compromise with such people. It can mean that suffering immense pain from such individuals will serve nothing good to you. It is the universe telling you to stand up for yourself. The universe wants to tell you that you should not compromise with your morals and fight with a rebellious mindset against evil people. What is the meaning of a dream involving a polar bear attack? You can dream of a polar bear trying to attack people. While this might be just a random dream, it can also mean something about your life. It can mean that there is someone in your life who deeply opposes you. You might be someone who does not have any apparent enemies in life. Everyone around you might seem to be friendly toward you. However, this might only sometimes mean that everyone cares for you. But some of them might harbor antagonistic feelings towards you. You can know this by seeing a polar bear attack in a dream. It can mean that someone in your life deeply opposes you and will harm you when necessary. It might also mean that the person is already plotting against you. Often, it can happen to you that you are not able to recognize your enemy. It mainly happens due to the presence of people who act like your best friend. However, they might hate you for even the silliest reasons possible. You need to understand who your enemy is to avoid a very troublesome situation in the future. Consider it a warning when you see a dream of an attacking polar bear. These dreams are a way for the universe to tell you to be aware of your surroundings. Be prepared to face these negative individuals. You can use this dream to learn how to identify people who are not right for you. You can closely observe the people around you who are your friend and who are not. This can help you to prevent unwanted circumstances from happening later on. What if you dream about running away from a polar bear? Have you ever had a dream where you are running away from a polar bear? If the answer is yes, then you do not need to worry. This is because such a dream might mean a positive change in your life. Such a dream can mean that you can remove negative individuals from your life. In this way, it can also mean you are slowly and steadily improving your life. This dream can also mean you will soon be among positive and sincere individuals. It can happen that you are suffering for no fault of yours. Some people might be finding opportunities to create problems for you. You might be having a tough time dealing with such people. You might also need help understanding what you can do against them. However, dreaming of escaping from a polar bear means you no longer need to feel anxious about such people. Such a dream can mean that your efforts against negative individuals will eventually be successful. It can also mean that your life will soon improve, and you will learn new ways to deal with people. Such a dream can also mean the universe is trying to motivate you positively. According to spiritualists, dreaming of running from a polar bear can mean the universe is trying to show you your potential. This dream can mean the universe tells you to be strong and courageous. Therefore, you can use this dream as a form of newfound motivation. You can use the message of this dream to be more courageous in life. In this way, you can actively fight against negative individuals or any other problem in life. What does killing a polar bear in a dream mean? Seeing yourself kill a polar bear in a dream is also a good sign. Such a dream can mean that you can successfully deal with a negative individual in your life. Or it could also mean that you have already dealt with such a person successfully. It could also represent a success you will soon achieve against all odds. However, it can also mean that you will face a challenge that will make you question your morals. You might face a trial in life that will force you to compromise with your moral standards. It can mean you should not compromise with your humanity regardless of its result. Often, you can find yourself stuck in a situation where you need help deciding what to do. This might happen because of your wrong decisions or someone else's. You might find yourself where you must do something wrong even if you do not want to. This is where the dream of killing a polar bear becomes important. It can mean that you do not need to worry too much about a certain situation that you are facing. Such a dream can also mean you need to look for a better solution. The universe could tell you that you are intelligent enough to find more constructive solutions for any problem. For example, if you are dealing with unemployment and thinking of committing a crime to make money, such a dream signifies that you do not need to take such a step. It could mean that there is a better solution that you have yet to discover. Therefore, you can use this dream as a message to calm down and think with a cool mind. Thank you for watching this video from exploreyourdreamlife.com. Please click the like button, leave a comment, subscribe, and share this video. We appreciate your support. What does a polar bear dream mean per the water and ice symbolism? A polar bear symbolizes water and ice, as mentioned above. This is usually because these bears can move easily through cold water to hunt fish. This shows the resilience that these beasts have. It also shows how these beasts can move through places otherwise fatal for any other animal. If you dream of a polar bear, it can mean the universe is telling you something. Such a dream usually means the universe is telling you to be more resilient. It could also indicate tough times that will come soon in your life. Seeing a polar bear swim through cold water can mean you already have enough courage to face grave situations. The water and ice symbolism can signify several situations in one's life. Most of the time, these can be negative situations for any individual. Such situations can include instances where you cannot save enough money. It can also signify tough circumstances where you are feeling hopeless and lost. However, dreaming of a polar bear moving through icy cold water and snow can be a good sign. It can mean that God will soon show you how to endure negative circumstances without suffering. It could also mean that you are stronger than you think. Therefore, you should use this dream as a sign to motivate yourself positively. You should use the dream to know the perfect time to execute a plan. The plan can be about implementing a solution to a problem that you are currently facing. This can be a health issue or even problems created by other people. What does dreaming of a polar bear mean as per Islam? Islam is one of the best religions in the world, owing to a huge number of people following it. Several Islamic texts also state certain facts about dreams involving a polar bear or any other bear. These facts help interpret the meaning of such dreams, which can be positive or negative. Islamic texts state that seeing a polar bear in a dream can be a bad omen. It means the presence of a dangerous yet unwise enemy that you might have in their life. The enemy will attack soon if the polar bear in the dream is angry. As per Islam, sitting on a polar bear is also a bad omen. It could mean that you will face hostility from your superiors. It could also mean that someone superior to you is plotting against you. Seeing a polar bear enter your house can mean someone antagonistic towards you will visit you soon. Eating a polar bear's flesh in a dream can symbolize your fears. Catching a female polar bear in a dream means a man will marry a rather unwise and morally loose woman. Therefore, the interpretation of dreams involving polar bears is rather negative. This is mainly because Islam generally views bears as hostile creatures. Therefore, per Islam, you should be cautious about dreams involving polar bears. Many Islamic scholars also state that dreaming of a polar bear can indicate the presence of negative spirits. It can mean that certain evil entities are tracking you to harm you at any moment. Such entities might take the form of a polar bear or any other creature to appear in your dreams. This signifies a threat that you might have to face very soon. What does dreaming of a polar bear mean as per Hinduism? Unlike Islam, Hinduism has positive and negative interpretations of seeing a polar bear in a dream. According to Hinduism, seeing a polar bear or any other bear in chains can be a message from the universe. It could mean that God wants you to overcome your fears and laziness. It can mean you must be fearless and hardworking to achieve anything. Hinduism states that seeing a polar bear eating can also be a good sign. It can mean that you will soon become prosperous. It could also mean that you will succeed in an endeavor you are struggling with. However, as per Hinduism, seeing a polar bear chasing you is disturbing. Hinduism states that such a dream can indicate sudden hostility from anyone. It can mean that someone will soon turn against you. It can also indicate the presence of several jealous individuals in your life. Seeing a sleeping polar bear is a good sign, as per Hinduism. Such a dream is an indication of a peaceful life. It can indicate that you will soon free yourself from all struggles and enjoy a quiet and peaceful life. Thus, The interpretation of dreams involving polar bears, as per Hinduism, can be negative and positive. The interpretation of such dreams depends totally on how a polar bear acts, per Hinduism. Generally, Hinduism states that a peaceful polar bear in a dream is a positive sign. However, a hostile polar bear is a negative sign. As per Hinduism, dreams where a polar bear attacks or kills you can be negative. It can mean that you will soon face troubles in life. It might also mean that someone apart from you will face problems in life. This can be someone you know or even a random person as well. What does dreaming of a polar bear mean in Christianity? Christianity has a rather positive interpretation of seeing a polar bear in a dream. According to Christianity, a polar bear symbolizes the Holy Spirit. Seeing a peaceful polar bear in a dream can mean that God is always there with you. It can mean that God has given you His blessings. However, Christianity also states that an angry polar bear in a dream is a bad omen. According to Christianity, seeing an angry polar bear in a dream could mean that you will face some hardships. It could also mean God is trying to warn you about an impending danger. However, this might not always be about you and can be about someone you know. Christianity views dreams involving polar bears to be mostly good ones. This is mainly because of the white color of these beasts. This makes Christians view them to be something that has a link to God. Therefore, Christianity states that seeing a polar bear in a dream can mean God is watching over you. However, horrible nightmares involving polar bears have a negative interpretation per Christianity. Seeing a polar bear attacking you can mean that God will punish you for something wrong that you have done, as per Christianity. It can also mean you will face severe enmity or attack from a person. It might also be God's way of warning you about a danger someone you love might face. According to Christians, having bad dreams involving polar bears means that you have to protect yourself from danger. Such dreams can also mean that God tells you to change your ways and be a good person. It might also signify the death of someone you know and love. Thank you for watching this video from exploreyourdreamlife.com. Please click the like button, leave a comment, subscribe, and share this video. We appreciate your support. What are some interesting explanations for seeing a polar bear in a dream? Several other theories explain what seeing a polar bear in a dream means. Many paranormal investigators have an interesting explanation for this. This mainly involves spiritual entities. Many paranormal investigators state that a polar bear in a dream can be an entity. Such a dream can mean a spiritual entity is trying to contact you. This can be someone you know who is dead or something else entirely. An angry polar bear trying to attack you in a dream could be an attack by an evil entity. If you have such a dream that appears too vivid, it could mean a spirit was trying to attack you. Many paranormal investigators state that our spirits temporarily detach from the body during sleep. This causes the spirit to contact other spiritual entities as well. Therefore, it is an alarming sign if you have recurring nightmares about polar bears. It could mean that something science cannot explain is happening to you. It can also mean that an angry spirit around you will harm you when it gets the chance. However, there is a more logical explanation for such dreams. Such dreams can happen simply because you watched videos showing these creatures before sleep. It can mean that you were deeply thinking about polar bears before sleeping. This might also happen if you are a researcher studying different animals, including polar bears. Obsessing over anything can often result in dreams involving the subject of obsession, which might also happen here. Therefore, in most cases, you do not need to worry about seeing a polar bear in a dream. Seeing a polar bear in a dream can mean several positive facts. It can also act as an eye-opener for you toward your character flaws. Can dreaming of a polar bear be a sign of encouragement? It can happen that you are feeling hopeless at a point in life. This can be due to a problem not going away from your life. It could also be because you are facing too many such issues simultaneously. However, dreaming of a polar bear is a good sign. Such a dream can mean that the universe is telling you not to give up. It could mean there are solutions to your problems that you have yet to discover. Therefore, you should consider this as a positive sign. As mentioned earlier, polar bears are famous for their strong and ferocious character. These beasts never give up easily upon encountering a challenge. One also cannot kill them easily. Therefore, dreaming of a polar bear can be good. Such a dream can be the universe's way of encouraging you. As mentioned above, dreams like running away or killing a polar bear can also be signs of positive motivation. However, seeing a polar bear standing before you in a dream can also be a good sign. Such a dream can mean your dreams and ambitions will soon come true. You might have certain goals in life that you are finding hard to achieve. You might think that you will never achieve the goal in your life without a miracle from God. However, dreaming of a polar bear indicates that you should motivate yourself positively. It can mean that nothing is beyond your reach. The universe reminds you of the qualities you need to achieve your goals. Therefore, consider this a good motivational sign. Can dreaming of a polar bear be a sign of adaptability? There might be times when you are facing constantly difficulties in life. For example, you might be someone who has shifted to a new area. You might need help adapting to the new place and mixing with the unknown people there. However, dreaming of a polar bear during such a situation is a good sign. It can mean the universe is telling you to adapt to new conditions. It also means that you can adapt to any new environment successfully. Such a dream can also have a similar meaning, just like the ones involving running away or killing a polar bear. For example, if you are a new student in a school, you might face certain troubles. This can include problems like the inability to adjust to a new environment and school bullying. You might feel hopeless about the situation and miss your previous school. However, dreaming of a polar bear can be a positive motivation for you in this case too. Such a dream can mean that you can adapt and adjust to a new environment. It can also mean you can deal with negative elements in the new place. Therefore, you should not feel hopeless after having such a dream. After having such a dream, you can find more courage to deal with new challenges in a new place. This can help you adapt to a new place and develop new skills and talents. Therefore, you can also consider this dream as a sign for you to develop yourself as a person. Thank you for watching this video from exploreyourdreamlife.com. Please click the like button, leave a comment, subscribe, and share this video. We appreciate your support. Can dreaming of a polar bear be a reflection of your character? Are you someone with great leadership qualities and servicing such a position? If yes, then dreaming of a polar bear can be just a reflection of your character. Various psychologists say that dreaming of a polar bear can mean you have leadership qualities. This can happen if you are working in a supervising position. As mentioned, dreams about polar bears can reflect your strengths and weaknesses. If you think yourself weak but see yourself killing a polar bear, then it could mean you have a wrong assumption about yourself. Dreaming of a polar bear does not always have to be good. Dreaming of a polar bear can also reflect a negative personality trait. For example, if you see yourself tormenting a polar bear, it is a negative sign. This is because such a dream can mean that you have several negative traits. It could also mean that you, as a human being, should improve yourself. Seeing yourself chaining up a polar bear or even eating it after killing it can also be a negative sign. It can mean you are about to do something that is not good or lawful. It could also mean that you will soon do something that will make you lose your humanity. Therefore, you can interpret these dreams as a sign that God wants your welfare. According to most spiritualists, such violent dreams involving polar bears means that God wants someone to stay on the right path. Such a dream also means we should abolish sinful character traits within ourselves. Can dreaming of a polar bear be a sign of fear? Besides positive meanings, dreaming of a polar bear can also mean certain negative things. Such a dream can indicate the presence of a lingering fear in your mind. This can happen if you are dealing with a problem you feel is overwhelming enough. Dreaming of a polar bear hunting and eating can indicate just that. It is a negative sign if you dream of a polar bear that has hunted and killed you. It can mean that something dangerous is awaiting you soon. Therefore, you should be more cautious after having such a dream. The danger pointed out by the dream can come from any source. It can come from a human being or a certain situation as well. Therefore, you should try to be more careful in your daily life after having such a dream. Dreaming of a polar bear eating your rotten flesh can also be a negative sign. It can mean that your worst fears are soon going to come true. The fears can be about yourself or even be surrounding someone you know. Therefore, you must be more cautious about yourself and your loved ones. Such a dream can also indicate the death of someone. Do you have a family member who has been sick for a long time? If yes, dreaming of a polar bear eating your corpse can be bad news. It can mean that the person you worry about will die soon. It might also mean someone else will die instead of that sickly individual. This can be anyone, including you as well. Therefore, you need to do anything to prevent your worst fears from coming true. What are the different physiological causes of dreaming of a polar bear? A nightmare can often happen if you are sick and have a fever. Bad dreams in such a state are normal, especially if you take medications. If you dream of an attacking polar bear, it could be due to the effect of the disease and medications. Certain medications can have peculiar effects on your brain. These can include medications for high fever, cough, cold and nervous disorders. If you take such medications, you can see strange dreams. Some of these involve polar bears as well. Therefore, in such cases dreaming of a polar bear does not signify anything special. These dreams are just the result of medications affecting your brain. You can know that these dreams signify nothing, especially if you see meaningless or funny things regarding polar bears. On the other hand, people with mental illnesses or addiction issues can also dream of polar bears. You can see such dreams in your sleep if you have certain problems in your brain functioning. These may or may not often involve polar bears. Such dreams usually do not have any meaning at all. People with an obsessive-compulsive disorder or schizophrenia can also dream of polar bears. This can happen if you obsess about polar bears while having these disorders. This can also signify that you need to visit a doctor soon and get well. If you take drugs and alcohol, you can also have dreams involving polar bears. This mainly happens due to the effect of addictive substances on your brain. As a result, you might have wild or even downright terrifying dreams about polar bears. However, it would help if you did not worry about the dream. Does seeing a polar bear in a dream expose your vulnerabilities? Several psychologists and people interested in spirituality say that seeing an angry polar bear in a dream can have a negative meaning. Such people state that if you see a polar bear in a dream that is about to attack you, it reflects your vulnerabilities. These can include a lack of self-confidence and fear of failure as well. Are you worried about something lately? Or are you a person who has low self-confidence and self-esteem issues? If the answer is yes in both cases, then it means that seeing a polar bear attacking you is a reflection of such attributes. It also indicates that such attributes are more likely to cause a downfall in your life. Seeing a polar bear in your dreams can also signify your vulnerability towards a person. This can be your wife, parent, or anyone else. You can dream of the person moving around with a polar bear. This dream signifies that you deeply care about the person and will do anything to protect them. However, seeing a polar bear trying to attack someone you love is a negative sign. It can mean you always fear for the person's safety and security. It can also mean that your fears about the person's fate might come true soon. However, such a dream might also mean that someone you also love will face trouble. This can be anyone in your life, from friends to family members. The dream can expose your insecurities about that person. It can also mean you must save that person from a worse fate. Conclusion. Seeing polar bears in dreams can have several meanings. Sometimes these dreams have no meaning. The meaning of these dreams associates with one's personality. However, this can only happen sometimes. Nevertheless, such dreams indicate something that will happen in your life. This applies if you are a fit and healthy person. However, dreams can often have more than one interpretation. Therefore, it is sometimes hard for you to know what such a dream means.